Hello everyone, I am Mrs Esther Massey. Today I will explain you a poem from your syllabus, The Psalm of Life by H.W Longfellow. Before we go into the detail of the poem, let me give you a brief introduction about the poet. H.W Longfellow was an American poet. He was born at Portland, America in 1807. He was educated at Bowdoin and Harvard. After his education, he became professor of modern language at Bowdoin and Harvard later. He was extremely popular during his lifetime. His work includes a wide range of works. Voices of the Night includes his didactic pieces, The Psalm of Life, Footsteps of the Angels, and The Reaper of the Flowers. His greatest achievement was his translation of Dante's Divine Comedy. Longfellow died in 1882. So students, in this poem, A Psalm of Life, the poet sees life from an optimistic outlook. To him, this life is full of possibilities as we can achieve higher goals by making the full use of our time and by working hard. And of course, by keeping faith in the power and potential of life. He does not have faith in those who hold the pessimistic view of life. Throughout the entire poem, the poet Longfellow conveys his view of life, instruct the readers to make the most out of the life, and inspire us to participate in the work and activities of life. The poem consists of 9 stanzas of 4 lines. Now I will read the lines of the poem and explain it to you. First stanza. Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. The poem begins with a verb tell in an imperative manner, and the very first stanza strikes the positive keynote of the poem. It also indicates that the poet is going to give us some instruction on what this life actually is and how we should take it. The poet asks us not to tell him in sorrowful verses that life is a hollow and meaningless dream. Here, Longfellow slams the pessimistic who sings melancholy songs, writes sad poems, or thinks that nothing can be achieved in this life. According to the poet, a person who spends all his time sleeping is already dead. Such worthless example of life often misguide others. And he assures that life is not so shady or worthless as it looks like. And he has much more potential than we think of. Second stanza. Life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. Dust thou art, to dust returnest, was not spoken of the soul. The second stanza begins with the line, life is real, life is earnest. This also conveys the poet's positive attitude towards life. According to him, life is real and serious, not baseless or useless. So, we should not take this life lightly. To him, grave is not the ultimate goal of life. Life does not end with death. He wants to indicate that our works remain in this world even after our death. He thinks, dust thou art, to dust thou returnest. We are made of dust and we will be going back to dust after death. Is only spoken of the body and it is not applicable to the soul. So, The poet makes it clear that he believes in the existence of the soul after our death. Third stanza. Not enjoyment and not sorrow is our destined end or way, but to act that each tomorrow find us farther than today. The third stanza of a psalm of life is about the ideal way of living. The poet suggests that neither enjoyment nor sorrow should be our limited aim or way of life. He means to say that in an ideal life, there should be both enjoyment and sorrow in a balanced way. But that is not crucial. The most important thing is to work and work diligently so that we can always be a better learned, better skilled, and better mannered human being with every passing day. The, the poet in the Psalm of Life doesn't want us to waste even a single day. We should crave for going forward further each day in our journey of life. Fourth stanza. Art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating funeral marches to the grave. Art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating funeral marches to the grave. The fourth stanza of a poem, A Psalm of Life, is about our responsibilities in this life, about the work assigned to us. Art is long and time is fleeting means that the work given to us is vast and time consuming, but the time is running away fast with every moment. The poet then says that though our hearts are brave and stout, at other times we fear death and our heart beats when we realize that death is certainly coming our way bit by bit. Longfellow compares the situation of our heart to the beating of the cloth drums at the funeral marches to the grave. Here, he means to say that we should utilize our limited time span to the fullest instead of wasting it in our thoughts of death or other such things. So students, I hope you all have understood this much. We will continue this lesson in my next video. Thanks for watching.